Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Friday, the 4th of July, 2025. Hope you enjoy your holiday with your friends and family. We'll look to cash some baseball tickets along the way. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Experts tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Friday, the 4th of July in Major League Baseball. First up, we've got an early game between the Red Sox and the Nationals at 11:05 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be on MLB Network. Lucas Giolito and Mike Soroka are your starters. Two starting pitchers that are in great form right now, but Lucas Giolito does have a pretty steep expected ERA, just below 5 on the season. And we've talked about Soroka. His expected numbers are really solid, and we think, I've mentioned many times, I think he's a lot better than his current ERA. In fact, that ERA is starting to shrink, now below 5 on the season, where at one point it was above 6. But we've seen him miss a lot of bats. He's been able to give the Nationals 5-6 strong innings in his last 4 games. The problem is the Nationals bullpen is one of the worst in baseball, and they have continuously really struggled after Soroka leaves the game. We saw in his last one, it was 6 innings of 1 run against the Angels. Most nights that's good enough for a team to win a game. The Nationals ended up giving up 8 total runs in that ball game, and they lost it 8-2. The previous game to the Dodgers, it was actually I believe a 3-0 lead for the Nationals over the Dodgers in the beginning innings of that game, and then we saw Soroka end his night 5 1/3, 3 runs, 10 strikeouts. Pretty solid performance against one of the best lineups in baseball. 10 strikeouts, very impressive. The game ended up being 13-7 in favor of the Dodgers. The bullpen for the Nationals got absolutely crushed. So while I do think the Nationals have a fighting chance to win this in the full game, I think the first 5 is potentially the better option when you just look at what's been happening with Soroka recently. So I'm going to roll with the Nationals in the first 5. Also sprinkle on the full game, but give me the Nationals first 5 money line. Next up, we've got the Reds and the Phillies. We've got Andrew Abbott and Jesus Luzardo as the starters. I like the under in this game. These are two lineups that have not been great against lefties, especially the Phillies, in the last month. And we know Andrew Abbott's been one of the best pitchers and one of the best lefties in the National League so far this season. I think he has a good outing. He's got good numbers against the current Phillies lineup. Luzardo, we know that really he was amazing in the first half of the season, first couple of months of the season. He had a couple of starts where he gave up a ton of runs. He saw 8 earned runs against the Blue Jays, 12 earned runs against the Brewers, and that really just skyrocketed that ERA above 4, still above 4 on the season. But I think he's a lot better pitcher than that, and I think he's settled down since. His strikeout numbers are back to where they need to be. His ground ball rate's been a little bit better. So I think Luzardo can go 5-6 solid innings. I think we go under the total in Reds-Phillies. Next up, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. We got Miles Mikolas and Colin Ray as the starters. Now, when you look at Colin Ray, even though he has struggled for the most part in his last 5 games, the Cubs are still 4-1 in those 5 starts. And it goes to show you just how strong this Chicago Cubs offense has been this season. I think they back up Ray in this game as well. I don't love Mikolas in this matchup. I think the Cubs can get to him early and often, especially an afternoon game, and I think the Cubs walk away with the victory. I was really not impressed with St. Louis's performance offensively in that Pittsburgh Pirates series. I think they continue to struggle in this one. Give me the Cubs on the money line. Next up, we've got the Subway Series between the Yankees and the Mets. We got Marcus Stroman and Paul Blackburn as the starters. Now, Stroman, of course, facing his former team in this one. He pitched pretty well in his first start back from injury. I think he has an okay outing in this one. I know the Mets in the last month have been solid against right-handed pitching, but I think Stroman can go 5-6 decent innings. And the key for me is the Yankees up against Paul Blackburn. I don't think Blackburn is a viable pitching option for the Mets or really most teams in Major League Baseball right now. I know the Mets are dealing with a lot of injuries right now, and that's the reason why Blackburn's basically forced in the rotation. But he has been struggling. I just can't get there with the Mets in this one. Give me the Yankees on the money line. Next up, we've got the Minnesota Twins hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got Zach Littell and Chris Paddock as the starters. Now, I know the Twins are not the most popular team to back right now because of their recent struggles. I understand if you're looking the other way, but for me, I think when you look at Zach Littell, the fact that he's given up 23 home runs and over 100 innings of work this year, 104 innings against a Twins team that in the last month has great power numbers against right-handed pitching, I think it's a bad matchup. I think Littell could be in trouble in this game, and Chris Paddock against the current Rays lineup, it's a small sample size, but a very good 252 ex-WOBA. I still believe in this Twins bullpen. I'm going to roll Minnesota in this one on the money line at home. Next up, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Seattle Mariners. Bailey Falter and Luis Castillo are your starters. Now, it's hard not to like what you're seeing from the Pittsburgh Pirates playing their best baseball of the season. Bailey Falter's been a very serviceable option in this rotation, 6-3 with a 3.62 ERA. I do expect regression as the season goes along, but he has a great matchup here against the Mariners team we just talked about in their matchup against Noah Cameron. They've hit lefties pretty well in the last 30 days, with a high strikeout rate, though, and a very high BABIP. So I'm not in love with Seattle against lefties going forward. I think Falter can put together a solid outing. I also think that Castillo has got some concerns in his game as well. We mentioned this from the beginning of the season where he was giving up a lot of base runners in spring training. His strikeout numbers were inconsistent. I think this is a Pirates team offensively having its best week of the season by far. I think they get to Castillo, and I think they win this game on the road. Give me Pittsburgh moneyline. Next up, we've got the Rangers and the Padres. Kumar Rocker and Randy Vasquez are the starters. Now, Vasquez gave up 4 runs and 9 base hits his last game against Cincinnati, and while he was able to get the run support enough for the Padres to go on to win that game, I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. I mean, Kumar Rocker has had struggles at the major league level throughout his career and in the early parts of his career, but last 3 games could be his best 3 starts combined in the major league level so far. I mean, 16 in the third inning, 16 strikeouts, just 4 runs given up combined, with 3 Rangers victories along the way. And in those 3 games, only 1 home run combined as well. So not giving up the sharp contact. His control's been a little bit better and just been more efficient on the mound. I think he pitches pretty well in this game against the Padres team that I'm not in love with offensively in the last month. I'm obviously not a fan of Randy Vasquez's game overall with the steep expected numbers. So give me the Rangers in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Blue Jays and the Angels. We've got Kyle Hendricks and Eric Lauer as the starters. The Blue Jays had a great series offensively against the Yankees. I think they can carry that over to this series against the Angels and Kyle Hendricks. I think Hendricks does give up his fair share of runs early in this one, and then the Angels bullpen, which has also struggled this season, could give up a few extra runs as well. But I also think that the Angels will be competitive in this series, in this game, on the offensive side. I mean, Lauer's pitched well so far, but this is a tough matchup. The Angels have pretty good numbers against lefties in the last month, especially power-wise. So I'm going to roll with the over in Angels Blue Jays in this one. Next up, we've got the Tigers and the Guardians. No official starter right now for Detroit, but we should see Slade Cecconi going for Cleveland. Now, right now, I am leaning towards the under in this game. We'll see who that official starter is for Detroit, but, I mean, Cecconi's pitched pretty well as of late. I trust this Guardians bullpen. Cleveland, offensively, from a team perspective, they've just been miserable this year. I mean, they're dead last in expected batting average, expected slugging percentage, xWOBA, hard hit percentage. They're near the bottom of the league in average exit velocity. So I just can't get there with this Guardians offense right now. I think we see a low-scoring game and series. Give me the under. Next up, the Brewers and the Marlins. We've got Sandy Alcantara and Quinn Priester as the starters. The Marlins have been playing their best baseball of the year in the last couple of weeks, but Quinn Priester has also been pitching some of his best baseball at the major league level in his career, and he had 11 strikeouts his last game against the Rockies in a 7-inning shutout performance, and the Brewers have won his last 5 games now, and a lot of those were pretty decisive victories. I think they match up really well with Sandy Alcantara. The Brewers are a tough lineup to face right now. They work a lot of pitch counts. They are obviously great on the base pads. They steal a lot of bases. They are just tricky for pitchers like Sandy, who are really more pitch to contact guys, to kind of navigate, because it just takes a couple of infield singles and the entire inning could unravel for any pitcher against this Brewers lineup right now. We saw that with the New York Mets in the first game of that doubleheader on Wednesday, where the Mets were up 2-1 in the middle innings, and then they bring in Reed Garrett out of the bullpen, and it was a little bloop here and then a double, and then all of a sudden Joey Ortiz hits a grand slam and the game is over. And I think that's the situation for Sandy. That's what I worry about for Sandy in this game, because he just gave up a ton of runs. He was pitching really well, and then in his last game gets crushed against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now you face a Brewers team. It's been great offensively in the last month plus. So while Sandy himself has good numbers against his current Brewers lineup in the past, I think this year's Brewers team is a lot more dangerous. So I'm going to roll with the Brewers in this one. I think it's going to be a competitive series, but I think Milwaukee, they really benefit from a matchup like this. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Braves. We got Charlie Morton for Baltimore. No official starter right now for the Braves. Now, I'm not giving up on this Orioles team, and I got to say, I really like the way Charlie Morton's pitched in the last month plus. He had a miserable start to the year, just like the Orioles did in their team, but he's been a lot more competitive recently. I think the Orioles are a team to watch out for in the second half of the season. They still have a lot of talent in that lineup. I think that bullpen and rotation will be a lot better in the second half of the year. They are still a good amount of games under 500, but they are not out of the playoff mix in this wide-open American League wildcard race. So I'm going to go with the Orioles in this one. I think that Charlie Morton pitches well against his former team, and I think the Orioles lineup is a little bit more trustworthy right now, honestly. So give me Baltimore. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Rockies. We've got Adrian Houser and Antonio Senzatella as the starters. This should be a fun series between two of the worst teams in Major League Baseball, but I think the Rockies have the advantage in this first game. I know Houser has pitched well so far this season, a sub-2 ERA. I don't think that's going to be the case for that much longer. I do expect regression going forward, and especially at Coors Field. I think it's a really bad matchup for Houser. I think Senzatella's experience at Coors will show in this game, and he's obviously not been somebody we've backed very often this year, but I think he matches up a lot better with the White Sox than Houser does at Coors Field against the Rockies. So for that reason, I'm going to roll with Senzatella, who's won 3 of his last 4 games. The Rockies have won 3 of his last 4 games, and I'm going to take the Rockies in the money line. Next up, we've got the Royals and the Diamondbacks. We've got Chris Bubic and Eduardo Rodriguez as the starters. Now, we know Chris Bubic has had a great start to the season, 2.25 ERA, even better on the road. The problem is he has not been pitching his best as of late. Still been pitching pretty well. I mean, he's given up 3 runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5 games, but not as dominant as we saw at the beginning of the season. And the Royals have now lost 4 of his last 5 games because when you give up 2 to 3, maybe 4 runs in a start with this current Royals team and their offense, that's enough for a loss because this team has just not been scoring runs consistently. They've not been great offensively against lefties in the last month, while the Diamondbacks have been. So I got to roll at Arizona in this game on the money line. Next up, we've got the Giants and the Athletics. We got Justin Verlander and J.P. Sears as the starters. J.P. Sears, an ERA above 6.6 at home this year, but Justin Verlander has been one of the least profitable pitchers in Major League Baseball. The Giants have lost 4 of his last 5 games, including his last 3 against the White Sox, Marlins, and Guardians. Not necessarily murderer's row in that list. I think the A's can get to Verlander at home for this one. I think they back up J.P. Sears. I'm going to roll with the A's in this one on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the experts tab at pickdawgz.com. You can find that rundown best bet. Going into Thursday, we were on a 12-3 rundown best bet run in our last 15. We'll see what happens on Thursday night, but we had a great month of June in Major League Baseball in the premium area and looking to carry that over to July. So check that out. And as always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck. Happy 4th of July.